Hey guys, C-Note here, of course popping up from under the desk, that's what I do. Hi, welcome to C-Note's Media Madness. I'm doing a live version today because I want to start getting into doing some live video for my personal Facebook page for C-Note Media. So you're going to see me do this every once in a while when I have a topic I'm going to talk about, not on any kind of consistent schedule, and this will also be the audio that will be stripped for the podcast version of this. So you can either go to C-Note Media on Facebook, facebook.com/C-Note Media, or you can subscribe to the show at cnote.show. Today I'm going to be talking about business being a mutual relationship. And this is in reference to both clients and those who are trying to establish a business. For me, I'm a media company. I am basically someone's CMO. I am someone who is going to come into your business and create all sorts of content, learn everything about every little detail about what it is that you do, that your business offers, and then work towards finding the best possible way to extract that towards your ICA, towards the ideal client avatar, towards the people that you need to connect with, that needs to hear about your brand, right? So when I do that, I not only am searching for my clients and putting stuff out there all the time, but I also need to consider that there are certain boundaries and needs that need to be met for me as well. And I think a lot of young designers or a lot of people who are doing business will throw themselves out there at the cheapest possible rates for the smallest price, for with the lowest barrier to entry, and take on any client that they can find. Usually this is a matter of desperation. Maybe you have financial troubles. There could be a plethora of things going on that might force your hand in trying to, have to take on more than you can handle. And that can be very frustrating. That could be frustrating for you as the business owner, as the person who is trying to attract clients, but also as the person who is the client. You expect kind of someone to have all of their stuff together, and you expect someone to be a guide for you as the client as well. And when you can't properly meet in the middle because the person who is charging the rate doesn't feel fulfilled because the rate doesn't make sense to them, and the client feels a little weary of like the connection not working, there's a problem. So when you're actually charging more and you're paying more from both sides, you're getting a better bridge between the two people. Not only is it because of money, but because you're likely a little bit more established and you're going to be setting boundaries and setting a contract. One of the things to consider is that when you're writing a contract and you're working together on trying to build some sort of business rapport, that you are going to fall into this realm of making sure that everyone's mutual benefit is being considered. So that when you're writing a contract, you're making sure that you're protecting yourself. That if you've got mental health issues, if you need more rest days, if you need to set a schedule, if you need to determine the rate right away, you need to determine whether or not your work can be used for public use after you're done with the project. These are all things that you need to consider as the person who's providing the services. Literally, someone is doing yard work right now. This happens to me when I'm recording stuff, and now it's just happening when I'm doing it live, which is why I usually don't do live videos anymore. But that's fine. We're going to keep on going. Let that play its course. So as I'm saying, like, as the person who is having to provide the service, you need to protect yourself from the client being able to use any little reason to ask for a refund, because there are stipulations that people put into a contract that say like satisfaction guaranteed or something like that, but what does that really even mean? I'm going to close a window real quick. All right, that helps a little bit. So like somebody might put into their contract for a client, satisfaction guaranteed, and what does that even mean? That is up to interpretation. You need to be a little bit more clear, and provide stipulations that protect both you, so that you're not over promising in a way that you can't deliver, and making sure that your client is protected, and make sure that there's a mutual understanding that both of you have to be actively involved in the business endeavor, right? So if you're the person that is providing the service, you're going to likely need, especially over time, if you're providing like a any kind of retainer or doing something that requires a lot of communication, you're going to have to want to put that in your contract to make sure that both you and the client understands that for you to do your best job for the client needs to be available and needs to be an active participant in the process. They can't just say, okay, here are the keys, and then just run away, right? You need to be, the client needs to know that if they disappear for 10 days and they can't answer any questions from you, if they can't provide any feedback, anything like that, that you as the business owner who is charging for your services still has the right to charge for the full amount. So those are stipulations to put into your contract. I recommend 5 days after submitting a project or submitting something that needs approval, that if the client can't respond or the client hasn't stipulated where they are or why they can't respond, then they have essentially voided any kind of any option to accept to ask for a refund. And it's important on the other end as well for the client to know that if the designer or the media person separates from the work for more than 10 days or 5 days or whatever that it is that you stipulate, that is inaccessible for whatever reason, or the business goes under or anything like that, that the client can get a refund in that situation. So it's important to look at each other's needs and make sure that you're not just me, because I've been screwed by other people in the past. I've let thousands of dollars on the table because I felt like I trusted the other person and they screwed me over by assuming or pulling back on when it was time to pay up. They would say like, this is not what we agreed to. And I had nothing in writing to say so. And the same can happen for a client as well. If they are working with someone, if you're working with someone as a client and you have not stipulated with the person that you're working with that what the refund policy is, and making sure it's fair and understandable in contract form, signed in writing, that you're putting yourself up for a vulnerability that is going to hurt the bottom line. It's going to hurt the relationship. It's going to hurt your reputation as a person that is the media person and who is also the client. There's a reason that Uber does really well, and the reason that Uber does well is because they require feedback from both the driver and the passenger. So the passenger gets to rate the driver, and the driver gets to say, hey, this passenger is worth picking up. This passenger respects my property. They respect who I am as a person, and I do the same for them. It's a mutual agreement. And I know a lot of us are really used to big picture situations with corporations where companies don't care about us, but companies are making transactions with other companies all the time, and they're doing it through mutual respect. And at least the ones that last a long time will do that. So this is sort of my plea to both clients and designers to make sure that you're putting things into your contract, to make sure that you're protecting each other to the best of your ability, and you're not just letting things slide. You need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, you're legitimizing yourself, which is what I do as a business owner of C-Note Media. I have my C-Note Infinite course, which I will write I will put it in the comments here, that if you go to cnote.thinkific.com, you can check out the bundle for all of my courses, but then also there is the C-Note Infinite course. That is my big offer. So 10 weeks, we work together one-on-one and make sure that I'm providing you with that sort of relationship, that we're working together for 10 weeks to build your brand, not only just do things for you, but to educate you on how to continue to move your brand forward. And I think that's super important for anyone doing business with any other person, to make sure that you're building each other up. And it's not just, even if it is a temporary transaction, that you're not leaving or just doing the bare minimum so that you can run and go find the next thing. You want to build the relationship and create tools for one another to be able to continue to help one another. So it is a mutual responsibility for the client and the business owner to make sure that you're getting a fair shake and that everything is going the way that you need it to. So that's it. I'm going to do these lives every once in a while on Facebook. So if you go to facebook.com/CDope Media, you can follow me on there and catch these videos when they go live. You can leave questions, all of that good stuff. And then I'll also be posting this on Anchor. So cnote.show is where the audio version of this will be. And you can certainly ask me questions there and subscribe to the show at cnote.show. So if you want to check out my media courses, go to cnote.media. I've got Myers-Briggs courses, personal development. I'm working on a branding course, and I'm also going to be a part of a big summit for Think Creative Collective. That's going to be at the beginning of November. Official details for that are coming soon, but I'm going to be talking all about branding and mindset when it comes to those topics. So be prepared and be ready for all of that. So we got a lot of things coming. We're going to be doing some more lives in the future on this page specifically, not on my other stuff. And then, just trying to build some connections and share what it is that I do with you guys. So that's it. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll catch you next time on C Notes Media Madness. Later.